officer. I've been doing it about 35 years now.
How do you feel about distracted driving?
Traffic,
Distracted driving.
distracted. I feel like there's a lot of sources for it that get overlooked because of the driving while intoxicated, using alcoholic beverages. But there's also a lot of now these days where they're doing it with marijuana and some other things like that. When you get into the synthetics that go along with some of these other that are mixed together, I think that's where they're trying to get technology to catch up with the detection of those, because there's just not a real means to identify them yet.
How can others be affected by this issue?
I think to lose their life would be the worst part about it is, but other than that, you look at property damage, significant financial losses, all kinds of problems.
What do you think people in their community can do to combat distracted driving?
Well, on the younger level, I think it would be to tell everybody, which is probably the one thing that I see more than anything else, is the using the phone, texting and driving, messaging and driving. That's probably the biggest one that I see in the younger groups, not the older so much, because we don't sometimes know what an AirPod is. But the younger crowd, I'd say, is just watch your texting and driving. Use your hands-free devices if you can. Use everything that's built into the car, the Bluetooth and all those.
What could Texas governors do to solve the problem of distracted driving?
I think probably the best thing would be education, more than anything else. I mean, you can sit and try to make it negative reinforcement by more punishment and consequences and all that, but I think on the front end, get into the school districts, get into the kids, and start there. Start, having orientation, or upon graduation, hey, let's have another class, not just with interactions with police officers, but on distracted driving as well, specifically. That's going to be I think that's going to be the biggest way you can.
Lainey Russ, 10th grade.
How do you feel about distracted driving?
I don't like it because even if you aren't the person that's doing the distraction, other people can run into you and cause incidents. So it's not only affecting you, but other people.
How can others be affected by this issue?
Others can be affected by this issue by just casually trying to go to the store and someone can hit you, run into you, and just cause a whole problem.
What do you think people in the community can do to combat distracted driving?
Get more law enforcement out, detecting and looking in vehicles to see if people are distracted.
What could Texas governors do to solve the problem of distracted driving?
They could, yet again, just put more officers out there in charge of looking for distracted drivers.
My name is David, and I'm in the 11th grade.
So how do you feel about distracted driving?
I feel like it's like I feel like it's only necessary in like certain reason, like certain situations, such as like emergencies or like someone's in the hospital and stuff like that.
And how can others be affected by the issue of distracted driving?
Some lose lives and stuff like that, but I feel like a lot can be affected by some people can crash, emergencies can happen, deaths.
So what do you think people in the community can do to combat this issue?
I feel that we can get more police involved and like more help from the society in certain situations.
So what do you think the dangers of distracting driving are?
It's a lot of fatal stuff, a lot of injuries, and like just crashes, a whole bunch of it.
So what do you think Texas governors can do to solve this issue?
I'd say like I said before, giving police, like making police help more and keep people from distractions, like put certain times on the phones and stuff like that.
Thank you very much.
So to solve this issue of distracted driving, make sure that you're always giving your full attention to the road. And remember that all distractions are dangerous, and so pay full attention when you're behind the wheel, so you don't cause injury or even death, which could before texting or driving or changing your music, anything like that, pull off the road entirely or come to a complete stop before you talk or do anything like that. And to make sure to put your phone away and turn it off, or even use an app before for your phone settings to make sure that it is turned off while driving. And think about, and also while driving, think about the serious consequences that could actually happen if you are distracted and you can cause an accident to a car or even cause death.
Distractions while driving can cause people to get injured or can cause them to kill themselves or others, and can also lead to destruction of property and land. This can also lead to grieving families and potentially suicidal thoughts for the family members because of losing their loved ones.